Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your friend Dr. Atul Nagpure. Today our topic is research methodology for new researcher. As you know that research is a creative and systematic work carried out to increase the stock of the knowledge. It also involves the collection, organization, and analysis of information to enhance the understanding of topic or the issues. So if you are starting a research work, many questions can come in your mind. First question may be which will be the best topic to start research work? What is the procedure we need to follow? What will be the good instrumentation techniques you need to work on? Which are the best hypotheses you need to validate? From where you have to gather the information of your concerned research work? And if you finalize your research finding, where to publish these works, and so on, and so many questions can come in your own mind. So this video will try to address all the questions regarding the research work. So let's look at first what is the research paradigm. So first thing in a research that should be you need to dream about your plan, that which is the area you need to work on and what are the things you require to carry out the research work. Now if you dream it, next thing comes, you have to design in a proper manner that how you're going to carry out that research work in the laboratory. After that, need to start your research work. Now time has come to deliver the work. After that, if you dream it, if you design the work, and if you carry out your research work in a systematic manner, you may lead to the discovery in the same field, and outcomes of that work will be publications of your research finding in good international journal. So the creativity is a fundamental attribute of science which is driven by the curiosity. The point is here that you need to be curious and you have to find out the answer of the question, and that can lead to the publication in good international journal. So let me discuss with you what are the things you require if you wanted to publish your research work in high impact factor journal. So let's consider one common person is sitting down to the apple tree and he find that apple is fall on the ground. Since it is a common person, he will not ask the question to himself, and neither he will ask the question to the nature. That means he has observed a phenomena that apple falls from tree on the ground, and he is not interested in finding out the real reason behind that. So if you are doing in the same way in the research area, believe me that your research work will be of low impact factor, because this person is not ready to find out the no reason of the phenomena in the nature. However, a good research scientist try to find out the question, and he himself think that what may be the factor which brings the apple on the ground. He will try to ask the question to the nature, what is happening with the apple, and because of that it's coming on the earth. So the good researcher try to find out the answer. He will raise why, and if you raise the why, he need to find out the answer. And if you are doing in the same way, if you are doing your research work in a systematic manner and trying to find out the answer of the result, your work will be in a good impact factor journal. And this is the person, nothing but Newton, who has discovered the law of gravity. So good research person should be thinking and try to find out the answers of the question. So finally, it's the idea which matters. So let me discuss with you now research process. Research process, in the first thing I have already discussed that you need to identify the problem. After that, try to review the literature in the same area. How many people has worked on the same issues on the same topic, and try to gather the information regarding the same subject. Analyze the previous result. What are the advantage and disadvantage of the work, and try to overcome the disadvantage of the existing system. So plan your research problem and try to discuss your hypothesis. After that, you have to design your work to test your hypothesis and carry out the research work. So at the end of your research, you need to write down the report of the research outcome. Next, you have to analyze the data and try to process the existing outcome of the research work. And in the same way, you have to start your research. So from the starting, identify the problem, review the literature, start to test the hypothesis and collect the data. This is called a research process. Now let me discuss with you the adipic acid process. For your knowledge, currently we are dependent on fossil fuels like oil, petroleum, coals and so on. So in the existing system, adipic acid is synthesized from the benzene feedstock, and you know that benzene feedstock is obtained from the crude oil. So benzene undergoes hydrogenations from cyclohexane, which is on oxidation from cyclohexanol and cyclohexanone, also called as the Ka oil, which is on oxidation gives you adipic acids. So if you look at this current process, you may realize that the adipic acid process is completely dependent on crude oil, and crude oil is a fossilized base compound. Now imagine that the fossil fuels get finished. So what will happen with this adipic acid process? I mean to say, you need to decrease your dependence on fossils based feedstock and try to go towards the sustainable and renewable feedstock like biomass. So here, can we design the adipic acid process which is based on renewable feedstock like biomass? And answer is yes. So if you take a plant biomass, from the plant biomass we can get the glucose, which is on oxidation get glucaric acid, and after hydrogenations and hydrogenolysis we'll get the adipic acid. So start to think in a innovative manner. Don't show your dependence on fossil fuels, rather than try to employ biomass as a feedstock for many organic transformation. Now again, let me give you the example of applications of nanomaterials. Currently, world is doing extensive research on nanomaterial synthesis and their applications. This is the one of the area in which Extensive work is going on throughout the world because of its large applications in a numerous science field. It finds applications in catalysis, renewable energy and energy storage, cosmetics and paints, also polymers, environmental science, agriculture and food, optical engineering, nanotechnology, medicine and drug delivery, as well as electronics and nano devices, textile industry, photography, biophysics, defense and security, biochemistry, metallurgy, and materials. So, if you look at these are the diverse applications of nanomaterial, and nanomaterial synthesis, characterization, and utilization is one of the a nice area of research. Now, let me give you again overview of how to carry out the research. First is you need to have conceptual model, formulate the testable hypothesis, followed by design and carry out the experiment, analyze the data, interpret and compare data with the previous work, go for extrapolation, generalization and prediction. And the next and the last, you need to find out the applications of your current system. So if you finish your research work and you wrote your research finding, now time has come to publish your research. But before starting a research article, research finding, please keep some important aspects in the mind. Firstly, write ideas whenever they come to you. You may traveling, you may playing or you may reading, but the moment you got the idea about research in your work, you need to record. You need to write down this. Afterwards, record your results and readings. Draw a table, draw a structure, make graphics. Note significant observations during synthesis and evaluation. Revise your reading. You may need to repeat an experiment, and if you follow all this procedure, you compile your data completely, and now you're ready to write your good research manuscript. Now, let me give you what is the review process. So, if you are written your manuscript properly, now time has come to submit your research work to good international journal. So first thing come first, the author submit the research paper to the respective journal. Then article is forwarded to the journal editor for initial screening. In the third step, if editor agree and if he find something novel in the research article, he will accept, and after that he will send for the peer review person in the concerned areas. Editor assess the reviewer's comment and update about them to the author. And after incorporations of the changes, modifications suggested by the reviewer, the author has to resubmit the work. After that, if editor agree to the answers, he may accept your research work. So if you look at, this is the long journey. You submit the work and you get the acceptance after the long process. So there are some essential parts you need to incorporate in your research article. First thing is title. The title has to be not long and not short. It should be appropriate, followed by the author's name and affiliation. Second, the abstract has to be a concise and it should give a real picture of your research work. And you can also mention some keywords. In the part of introduction, you have to give a complete overview of your research work, need to state the problem and what are the possible solution and which thing you design and what are your outcome. In the experimental section, you have to mention all the chemicals which you are employed for research study, preparation of the catalyst or the material, calculation techniques you use, XRD, IR, Raman and so on, and how you evaluate your data, like you can go for effect of temperature, effect of pressure, effect of catalyst amount, effect of starting mole of reactant and so on. Moreover, you can also discuss many things in this experimental section. So here in the results of discussion, you need to give a clear overview of your research finding, how you carry out the research and how do you interpret the same research. In this, you can give all characterization study including XRD, Raman, IR, TPD and so on. Further, you can discuss what are the reaction parameter you have optimized, effect of solvent, effect of influence of hydrogen pressures, recyclability study, reaction process, and at the end you can give conclusion of your work followed by acknowledgements and the references. So let me give you the component of research work at the end. Your research work has to be the innovative work. It should give new methods, new methodology to the world. It should have some advantages as compared to current existing system. You need to analyze the data, start writing a report, followed by it should have novel applications of the work in the scientific areas. So let me conclude my discussion. Think like proton and stay positive. Thank you for watching.